So right now, Kev, we're down in the, like, this is kind of like the utilities room, and this is the hot water heater. So what will you be doing to the hot water heater?
So one of the things that we do is we test any combustion appliances. Right here we're burning a fuel, propane, which heats the hot water. What we would normally be testing is the carbon monoxide levels of a system. We want to make sure that it's drafting properly to outside, and that there's low carbon monoxide both within the exhaust and in the space that we're in.
I see. And how do you, is there anything like that you can do to make sure the temperatures are that you're doing it efficiently? Like,
yeah. So hot water tank should be at an appropriate temperature of about 120 is a good temperature to keep it at. Having it at a higher temperature means you're going to be introducing some cold water, and you're going to be burning a lot more fuel to keep that hot water at a higher temperature than what you need.
Is that something you test for and adjust?
Yeah, that's something that we check to see what the temperature is at, and then we recommend bringing it down to a more appropriate temperature if needed.
Great.
But what we like to do is both use an infrared camera, particularly on a cold day like today where the outside temperature is much colder than the inside temperature, and we'll see a lot of heat losses.
So that's going to show you, oh, you'll be able to see like cold air seeping through with that?
Yeah, so it reads temperatures of surfaces and produces an image based upon that. So all the darker colors are showing some heat, colder temperatures, and then the brighter yellow or white spots are warmer. So when we look at a wall, we're able to see the studs, the construction of the home, showing up as colder because wood has a poorer insulation value than a fully insulated
wall. So you're
wall.
just talking about the insulation, and we saw where the studs offer less insulation than actual insulation.
Yeah.
And people talk about replacing windows to save energy, but actually the number one point you were saying is insulation.
Is insulation. It's less expensive. You get more surface area, and you're only as strong as your weakest point, just like a sports team or the military. You're only as strong as your weakest, and heat's going to find ways to get out. So if you have great windows but poor walls, you're going to be experiencing a lot of heat loss.
That's what's, yeah. So your best place to attack is, your best dollar spent is
with insulation.
With insulation.
And then from there on, windows.
Cool. So is this going to be a test?
Yeah, one of the easiest ways into a wall is through an outlet cover or a light switch. We're able to judge the depth of the wall as a 4-inch wall, and that's typical of 1960s construction. And then we're able to see what is going on for insulation in there. And I'm able to feel the edge of the insulation and judge the depth of it, and that it's a full fiberglass bat in there and a full cavity worth of insulation.
How much training did you have to do to learn? was it a pretty intense?
Yeah. So coming on board almost a year ago, I went through 6 weeks of building science training to learn all this knowledge. I also have a bachelor's in environmental protection and a master's in sustainable design.
Well, there you go. So. Yeah, I think I'd say you're qualified. Yeah. Yeah, so you have to. So the people, you have to have like a passion for this, huh?
Yeah, every person I work with has a passion for what we do and what the Mass Save program and what our mission really is, and it's to bring energy solutions and comfort to all homeowners out there to make our existing housing stock as efficient as possible.
Yeah.
This expanding foam, this is used to seal up a lot of voids and cracks where air is escaping, and with that air taking the heat with it.
Right.
Insulation is pretty good. It's an R38 bat for the most part, but it has some voids in it. R38 is about what we're looking for in an attic, but we want to make sure that the entire attic flat is also air sealed as well.
Mm-hmm. And so we're losing a lot through the cans.
The cans as well, yeah. The recessed lights, each one of those is about a 6-inch uninsulated hole, if you will, within the attic. And we want to make sure that we can seal those up and insulate around those.
So Kevin, we're going to replace some of these
incandescent
recessed lighting bulbs with these ones.
Yep, these are LED floodlights or recessed lights, and they're the ones that we're replacing use 65 watts of power, and these use only 10 to produce the same, if not a better, light quality than you're used to.
I mean, that is incredible, right there. All right, we're gonna take one out. Once we take one out, we're gonna put one of those ones next to it so people can see that there's no visual difference in what they're gonna look like in your roof. Because I think a lot of people are worried that they're gonna have to get stuck with the squiggly ones, and that's just not the case.
Yeah, we offer both.
Right. There you go. All right, so that's bring them right next to each other. So that's what came out. This is what's going in. As you can tell, once it goes into the thing, you're not going to know any different, except for you're going to be saving. One's going to be using. Now, how much power does this one use?
10 watts.
10 watts, and the one we took out took 65 watts. All right, that's one that just got replaced. That's one that was there. You cannot tell the difference. That's one that hasn't been replaced. That's one that has been replaced. So Kev, you just laid out a bunch of the things that are available. These are all free through the program. All right, why don't we go through the different type of things that you offer?
So right here we've got a programmable thermostat that can help save money on fuel through the heating seasons with automatic setbacks, both for weekdays and weekends.
Wait, now you offer these. Do you install them as well?
We do. We can install them depending on the type of heating system that you have.
Okay, and if you install them, is there a fee for the installation? Nope. No fee?
No fee.
Okay.
We've got a low flow shower head. Typical shower head uses 2.5 gallons per minute, where this one uses 1.7 gallons per minute. So not only are you saving on fuel, whatever your hot water source is, but you're also saving on your water consumption.
Will you have less pressure?
No. I use one every day myself, and I enjoy it. I think the pressure is equal to what most people are used to.
Okay, there you go.
We've got a smart power strip here. It helps reduce phantom loads through different appliances that are plugged in along with the TV, like a DVD player or surround sound. And this can help eliminate some of those usages when the TV is not being utilized.
So how does that work?
Basically, these green outlets get automatically switched off when you turn your TV on or off.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you say this savings for you?
Yep. And then our extensive array of lighting, floodlights, regular A-lamp style bulbs, compact fluorescents, another compact fluorescent that has a nice globe over it, candelabras, as well as globes.
Very cool.
So light bulb for nearly every type of light that you might have. All
free, all going to save you a very big amount of money, and it's all free. Okay, Kev, so you punched a bunch of numbers into your computer.
Yep.
And now this is kind of like the final phase of this part of it.
Correct.
And why don't you tell me, like, now what are we doing now?
Okay, so I spent a few minutes on the computer, modeled the house with our energy modeling software as it sits today, and then I input all the light bulbs that we installed, the smart power strip, low flow shower heads, and it projects what that's expected to save you over the next year. And then I inputted the recommendations that we had to help make some air sealing improvements and what the savings of those are going to be. We're going to go over those numbers right now.
Okay.
So we installed about 50 light bulbs, a couple shower heads, smart power strip for the TV, as well as the visit itself. Now that has a total value of about $792. If you were purchasing these things from a store and paying someone to come out here and give you an energy assessment, something you might expect to spend.
$792, okay.
These improvements that we've made today are now going to save you about $232 a year.
Right off the bat, every year from going forward.
Moving forward, yeah, every year you save $232.
Yep.
And the best part is, these are all free.
Cost zero. All right. So for an investment of your time is
a couple hours of your time, you get some free energy saving measures, and you learn a little bit about your home and areas that we can improve. Now, the areas that we can improve are up in the attic. We want to do some air sealing measures, as well as an insulated dome over the pull down stairs and the recessed lights.
I imagine a lot of people have those pull down stairs, and anyone it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know, like that piece of plywood that is there is probably about 1/4 of an inch, and there's zero insulation over generally those things.
Generally, yeah.
And so you don't have those with you today.
No, it's something that we can come back in and install while we're doing some of the air sealing up in the attic as well.
Okay.
The total value for cost of labor and materials for all of those things is going to be about $2,600. Again, that's cost of labor, materials, permitting, everything wrapped up into one. These improvements are going to save you about $623 a year.
Wow.
Through your heating. And electric heat is quite expensive, and particularly with these increased rates that we see every 6 months. Now, through the Mass Save program, it's a heavily incentivized program. It covers the cost of up to $2,000 worth of insulation and all air sealing measures. Now, Mass Save is going to pay for nearly $2,000 of this work.
Wow.
Leaving you with a total of just $675.
So to go the next step and have all the heat sealing work and everything else, you out of pocket, you're talking about $675, and it's estimated to save you $623 in the first year alone, which you'd get that back, and then every year going forward, that's 600 and something. That's assuming that electricity prices don't go up.
Exactly.
If electricity prices go up, you're saving even more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And folks that are, whether they're on electric heat, oil, gas, propane, are seeing these savings.
Yep. And so what is the responsibility? Do the people have to go and apply for the permit? Like you mentioned permits and stuff like that.
Often home improvements require permitting, and that's something that we take care of. So it's kind of all hands off for the homeowner.
Wow, it's just absolutely no-brainer. And again, like we talked about before, if you look at your bill, grab that bill right behind the computer there. There's a bill. I'm gonna just point out to people. So I don't know if this will focus on it, but right here, energy efficiency charge, is that the one?
That's correct.
The energy efficiency charge is on everybody's bill. Right here, it's a penny per kilowatt hour. And you're paying for this every single month. Different months you're using different amount of energy. That bill in the December, January, February months for my mom's house, I looked at the bill, was $30 a month. So you're probably everybody's probably paying, between $100 and a couple $100 a year. And that's going towards these programs that they want you to use.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost you anything, and you're going to get that money back. So, Kevin, thank you so much for coming out.
You're very welcome.
This has been fantastic. I learned a lot, and my mom's going to save a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
Hey.